Hello everyone, it's Mr. Hatton again. Here we are in week 3 of the COVID-19 debacle. It's been a tough time for all of us. I know it's been a tough time for all of you. I can only imagine what it's like to be in your house all of the time. Sometimes it must feel like it's summer and you're stuck inside your house during the summer so much. Obviously it's a little bit worse because you can't go outside to go swimming or whatever the case may be. So I just want you to know we're in the same boat you guys are in, and I really feel for you. So I just want to talk about this week. This is a big week. I'm coming to you on Monday after we had our first session. So today is Monday, April 13th, and we had our first session this morning, and 5 students showed up. And I'll be honest with you, I'm glad it was only 5 because it was a little bit of a stretch to make sure that everybody was on the same page and we were doing what we needed to do to be successful. So I'm glad we have 5 seasoned pros now. So let's see, who was there? We had Peter there, we had Sandra there, we had Lensley, we had Fernando, and Caleb was there. So those were the 5 people that were online today. 4 of them were with us on their computers and 1 was there on their phone. So it worked out really, really well, and we got into a routine pretty quickly. And what's really great is everybody got their assignments finished. So we're really excited about that. So coming in tomorrow on Tuesday, that would be April the 14th, going to be a slightly different situation because I cannot come in until 10 o'clock. So the startup time will be 10 o'clock. If you want to get started earlier than that, you're more than welcome to do that. I will send you a link on Google Classroom. So you just log into Clever, click on your Google Classroom link and look for the April 14th, Tuesday, April 14th. Click on that and it'll show you what is expected of you for that day. We are going to get into a bit of a routine. Like I said, tomorrow at 10 o'clock we'll be meeting, but I will share another video with you what the regular schedule is going to be. So just be aware of that. Some things that we picked up today that I think you should know about. Some of the things that we experienced when we were in Google Hangout is what it's called. We had everybody in there, and there are some things that I want to be sure that you are doing when you're in there. First, I want you to try and log in to Google Hangouts from your computer rather than from your phone. Now, obviously, if you don't have a computer, then the phone is going to be your only option. You want to make sure that you have a desk or a table that you are working on. The reason for that is because you're going to have to write on your scratch paper. So make sure you find some scratch paper to work with when you are working. So obviously you need a surface to be able to write on. And so for me, I would move my computer over a little bit and I would have a piece of paper right here that I would be able to work on. Okay? Now, that's important because obviously if you're lying in your bed with your cell phone and you're holding it up like this and you're moving around and you're rolling over, it gets a little bit crazy. So if you are using your phone, I don't want you to be holding it. I want you to set it up. I found a nice heavy flashlight. Maybe you have a glass or a base or something like that. You can just lean your phone against. Make sure that the picture is just right. Maybe over to the side here so that when you're working, I can see what you're doing. But you also want to make sure that I can see your face, okay? Not just your eyes, not here, but your whole face, okay? That way, it'll make it easier for everybody to understand when we're communicating. One of the things that you might want to know about, on Google Hangouts, there's an option for closed captioning. And what it is it's a little box with CC on the inside of it. CC for closed captioning. If you click on that box, you'll actually be able to read what people are saying. When you are not asking a question, I want you to make sure that you have your mute button on. There are 3 buttons at the bottom. When you click on the screen, a white bar will come across the bottom. And there are 3 buttons. The first of those 3 buttons looks like a microphone. And you want to use that button when you are not asking a question, when you are just listening. The reason why you want to use that button is in case there's any noise in your house or behind you, or you're talking to somebody else while you're working on it. Maybe mom and dad is trying to help you and you guys are talking to each other. You want to make sure that you're on mute as much as possible. If you have a question, you press the microphone again and it unmutes. That means you can now speak and ask your question. Okay? The last button on the end looks like a video. It's for you guys, it's actually going to be on the right side, and you do not want to use that. That shuts off the video. I want you to keep your video on even if you're not communicating, okay? That way I can see what you're doing. I can see if you're working. I can ask you if you have a confused look on your face. I can ask you if you have a question, if there's anything I can help you with, okay? So let's keep the video on. Do not change that. The next thing that you want to make sure you do is speak clearly into the camera, okay? So if you have a question, then make sure you think of your question and then you speak clearly into the camera when you ask your question. If you're just coming on and you're unmuting and you're going, Mr. Head, I don't understand this problem that we're doing. I'm going to lose track of what you're saying and I'm going to stop you and I'm going to have you speak more clearly anyway. So you might as well just stop, make sure I have your attention, and then speak clearly, and then we can make sure we move on from there. I said I would talk about our normal schedule, but for Tuesday only, we're going to be working from about 10 o'clock until 11 o'clock. And you will have the main thing that I want you to do is to get logged into Google Hangouts so that you know exactly how to use it. Make sure you get yourself situated and have your area ready for learning so that we can get started. I know that it seems like it might be really stressful to get started with this, but in reality, once we get rolling with it, it'll be a lot less stressful than you think. It'll be hard just because we're learning things at the beginning, but then things will seem to come a little bit easier. At least that's what we experienced as a group this morning. So it's basically going to be a check-in time. Please hang out. Listen to the kinds of questions that people have. Learn how to use the buttons that you need to know how to use in Google Hangouts. Understand how to use the chat. So if you look on this side of your computer over here, there will be a chat button. You click on that and you'll be able to type your questions. Make sure you know how to use that. So in the next video that we have, I will explain what our regular schedule is going to be. We will spend a little bit of time making sure we understand what the schedule will be so that we can make sure that we're doing some really good learning by the beginning of next week. At this point, I'm going to log out. Just really glad that I was able to see some of you this morning, and I look forward to seeing more of you on Tuesday, April 14th. Have a great day.